Personally, I want to speak just 5 minutes or less about a crisis that we are facing here in North America. And our community is no different from any other community. A crisis that we have seen the results of in the tragic events in Boston. It's the crisis of youth, the Muslim youth. And I want to take responsibility as a community leader before everyone as part of the problem. And I want to share that responsibility with everyone who wants to do something about it. We have a crisis that has 5 elements of it, or to it. We have an identity crisis for our youth. We have young people growing in this country that don't know where they belong and who they belong to. One of the things that one of the suspects said, I have no American friends. Our youth, and some of them, not all of them, do not identify themselves as, quote, Americans. That is a crisis. And that crisis is either born from lack of understanding of who we are as American Muslims, because being a Muslim and being an American are not two different things. One is a national identity and the other one is a religion. And if our youth cannot understand that they are American and they are Muslims, we have a crisis that we are responsible for. And if our youth are growing up in this country and they don't understand they belong, how do we expect others, quote unquote, to hug us and to make us part of this country and this society? The second crisis we have with the youth is a role model crisis. Our youth are growing up and they don't know who to look up to. They don't have role models. The media talks a lot about homegrown terrorism. We should invest in homegrown Muslim American role models. And how much are we investing in that? How much are we investing in role models that are youth mentors? And how many mentors for the youth are we investing in our community, for our youth to look up to and help them navigate some difficult years, teenage crises in their lives? The third crisis we have is program and institution crisis. We don't have steady programs for the youth. We don't have consistency, even if we have a program here and a program there. A lot of times it's dependent on a person or two. If they get married off or find a job somewhere else, the whole program collapses. The fourth crisis we have is a consistent Islamic education moderate program that our youth can go to and understand their religion the way it is, so they don't go to a YouTube program and trying to find Islamic religious education. Because that's not where you learn Islam. If you don't study Islam at the feet of a scholar, you have not learned Islam. YouTube is not where you learn your religion. And the fifth crisis, we have a crisis of that energy that is stored in our youth, and we don't have outlets for them to spend that energy as a community in the halal way. Brothers and sisters, it is a crisis that we all are responsible for. And we have to put our heads and our hearts together to find solutions for this. And we have to do this before we lose more of our youth, more of our identity, and before we bleed more into our society. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us in our calamities and our crises.